Pinky here, and welcome back to my sister and I's daily Warrior Cat Speed Paints, where my older sister Rachel draws the scene, and I, Lily, tell with voiceover the story behind the drawing. This week we'll be following up with Pine Star's deputy and the next ThunderClan leader in line, Sunstar. Well, for this speed paint he'll be Sunkit. Yep, we're going to the timeline of the short story Goosefeather's Curse. And Rachel's drawing the scene where Goosefeather is spying on Sunkit and his brother Featherkit playing, and he's prophesying that Sunkit will lead the clan someday. And Goosefeather's medicine cat mentor Cloudberry is glaring at him and telling him that he should just allow these kids to grow up normally, without having to worry about a huge destiny looming over them. A little bit of background, I'll read to you guys now the scene where Sunkit is born, and Goosefeather first receives insight into his future. You guys can follow along with me in the book. It's at the end of Chapter 7 of Goosefeather's Curse. Cloudberry turned to Larksong and ran one paw along the she-cat's flank. "You have a beautiful son," she purred, "but I think there's another to come. Don't give up now." Goosefeather began to lick the tiny kit's damp fur, keeping one eye on Larksong. A heartbeat later, there was a second bundle lying in the moss. Cloudberry pushed it towards Larksong's head. "Another Tom." "With a loud voice already," Cloudberry purred. "Come on, Larksong. Clean him up so they can have their first feed." Goosefeather felt his kit start to wriggle beneath his tongue. "I think this one's hungry," he mewed. "Put him next to Larksong's belly," Cloudberry instructed. "He'll know what to do." Goosefeather stared in awe as the kit nosed its way into Larksong's fur. "Amazing," he breathed. "I agree," meowed Cloudberry softly. "I never get tired of this moment." The second kit joined his brother, and Goosefeather watched them suckle. Larksong lay back and closed her eyes. Cloudberry started to pull away at the moss. "We'll freshen up her nest and leave her in peace." Goosefeather rested one paw on the kit that he'd cleaned. At once, images burst into his head, tumbling and flashing in a blur of senses. The moonstone, the strong smell of herbs, a gaping womb padded with thick white webs, glittering starlight full of voices. He looked up at Cloudberry. "He's going to be a medicine cat." Quickly, he placed his paw on the other kit. Now he saw 4 giant oaks silhouetted against the night sky. He felt the cool stone of Great Rock beneath his paws. He watched the clan swirl in the hollow below. He heard the roar of battle and tasted the sweetness of victory, echoed in the cheers of his warriors. "And this one will be ThunderClan's leader," he declared. He stared at Cloudberry, his head whirling. "We have to tell Dostar. These kids are truly special." He jumped up, but Cloudberry blocked his way with her tail. "Every kid is special," she told him fiercely. "You may think that you know what will happen, but StarClan knows better than any of us. Let these kids grow up like any other, without knowing the burden of their future." Not many cats have their destiny told at the moment that they are born. Goosefeather was very sure that Sunkit was special. Not even Firestar himself had his destiny told when he was born, so, Sunstar must be pretty great. Now I'll read another scene. This is the moment that Rachel's capturing in this speed paint, and you can follow along with me in the book. It's at the beginning of Chapter 8 of Goosefeather's Curse. As the moons rolled into Leafbear, more and more kits were born, until Goosefeather could hardly squeeze into the nursery. Hairpounce gave birth to a pair of pale-furred she-cats, Specklekit and Whitekit, and Rainfur joined her soon after with Dappлекit, Tawnykit, and Thrushkit. Cloudberry insisted on dealing with the births on her own, sending Goosefeather to fetch soaked moss and fresh bedding instead. Goosefeather knew she didn't want him to touch the newborn kits, for fear that he would see their entire future unroll. Meanwhile, Larksong's brace of Toms, Sunkit and Featherkit, grew into strong little cats, ready to nip Goosefeather's tail when he wasn't watching, or shred their freshly laid nest with their thorn-sharp teeth. As soon as their eyes were open, Larksong shooed them out of the nursery to give the other queens some peace. Her sons tottered about the clearing on their sturdy legs, fur fluffed up against the cold. A tendril of ivy lay on the ground beside the half-tree, and the kits pounced on it with ferocious squeaks. "Did you see Sunkit jump just then?" Goosefeather meowed to Cloudberry. "He's already more powerful than his brother." Cloudberry looked at Goosefeather, her yellow eyes wary. "Be careful," she murmured. "Don't let the kids hear you say that." Goosefeather let out a hiss of irritation. "I was only making an observation." His mentor shook her head. "You see his future every time you look at him. Don't let that blind you to what's happening now, Goosefeather." "I can't take away what I've seen," Goosefeather growled. "The fact that Sunkit's going to grow up to be our leader makes him special." "All kits are special. To their mothers, they're the most perfect creatures that ever walked the forest. But as medicine cats, we must treat our clanmates as equals. None is more deserving of our care than another. You should know that by now." That would be really hard to have someone see all of your potential. It doesn't give Sunkit a lot of room to fail. Luckily, Goosefeather seeing Sunkit's future doesn't screw him up. He grows up to be a kind and understanding warrior, and receives the warrior named Sunfall. And his brother becomes Goosefeather's medicine cat apprentice. The relationship between a leader and their medicine cat is very special, so it's really cool that Sunstar is the leader and his brother Featherwhisker is the medicine cat. I'd love to hear in the comments section down below what you think of Sunstar's destiny of becoming leader, given to him as a kit. I kind of think that Goosefeather never told him because I think it would have seriously screwed him up. Would you be able to grow up knowing that one day you would have to lead the clan? Would it make you cocky, scared, or would you welcome your destiny? Let me know what you would do down below. I think I'd be scared. I'd probably run away. Honestly. G'day, warrior fans! Welcome back to day 2 of focusing on Sunstar. Today, my older sister Rachel is going to draw a scene from Sunstar's life, and I, Lily, will tell you with voiceover the story and theories behind the drawing. A lot of you have been asking what program Rachel uses to draw and record these speed paints. Well, I asked her and she said that she uses Adobe Photoshop CS6 and a screen recording program called Roxio. And as far as technology, she has a Dell Inspiron touchscreen computer and uses a Wacom Intuos Pro Medium tablet. Hopefully that answered some of your questions. If you have any more, feel free to ask them down below and I'll answer them in these speed paints. For future reference, I'll be adding all of this information of what Rachel uses to draw to the descriptions of these speed paints from now on. All that business aside, let's get down to today's drawing of Sunfall sadly watching Moonflower. This scene isn't physically in any of the books, but we created it based off inference and the canon confirmation from the Aaron Hunters that Sunfall had feelings for Bluestar's mom, Moonflower. But they never became mates during life because Moonflower had kids with Stormtail, which Moonflower's brother Goosefeather advised her not to do. In Bluestar's prophecy, Stormtail is shown to be kind of a jerk. He's a bad mate to Moonflower and a very distant father, and he's constantly flirting with Dapplepaw, even when Moonflower is right there. I imagine that this behavior started soon after Moonflower became pregnant. Stormtail wasn't truly committed to his mate, and he found it awkward to be tied down to being a father. When Blue Kit and Snow Kit were born, their father wasn't very present in their life, hardly making an appearance, and treating them like strangers to him. I'll read this scene from Bluestar's prophecy where Blue Kit and Snow Kit first meet their father, to show you what an absentee father he was. It's on pages 27 through 35 if you want to follow along. Moonflower glanced at the gorse barrier. He promised he'd be back from hunting by sun-high. Beside the nettle patch, a large tom with a pelt as fiery as the sun was sharing prey with 3 warriors.
Is that Sunfall?
Blue Kit asked. Uh-huh.
Why couldn't Stormtail come to the nursery to see us?
Snow Kit whined. Adderfang's always coming to the nursery to see Patch Kit and Leopard Kit.
He even brought them a mouse last time.
Your father came to see you as soon as you were born. He's a very important warrior, so he doesn't have time to bring you treats. Blue Kit scrunched up her eyes as she glanced at the sun. It was almost directly overhead. Stormtail would be there soon. Moonflower stiffened. He's here.
Where?
Sit down. Sit up straight. Blue Kit thought if she sat up any straighter, she'd topple over backwards. But she held herself as stiffly as she could until Stormtail's gaze finally reached them. Stormtail, come meet your kids. Stormtail padded towards them and halted. They look better with their eyes open, I guess. Do you see? They both have blue eyes like you.
Yeah!
Blue Kit stretched her eyes wider so that her father could admire them, but he hardly seemed to glance at her before he turned back to Moonflower. They look like they'll make good warriors. Of course they will. They're your kids. Blue Kit's gaze wandered to the warrior's den. The branches quivered, and Adderfang padded out. With mews of delight, Leopard Kit and Patch Kit pounced on him. Leopard Kit clung to her father's tail while Patch Kit landed squarely on his shoulders. Adderfang staggered, and with an exaggerated grunt of surprise, collapsed dramatically to the ground. Leopard Kit and Patch Kit leaped onto his belly, squeaking, but Adderfang tumbled them off with a purr and chased them away behind the den. Stormtail glanced towards the commotion, his ears twitching. Blue Kit thought perhaps that he was imagining playing with his own kids like that. Once he got to know them better. Pine Stars asked me to share prey with him, Stormtail told Moonflower.
Now? Is he leaving already? Can we come with you?
Stormtail's gaze flashed towards her, and she flinched when she saw a mixture of alarm and discomfort in his eyes.
Doesn't he like us?
Kids should stay near the nursery, he muttered.
Blue Kit's heart sunk as he turned and padded away, and then swelled with hope as he paused and looked back over his shoulder. Had he changed his mind?
Stonepelt told me you woke him up yesterday. Stay out of the warrior's den.
And then he swung his head around and walked off. Blue Kit stared after him, hollow with disappointment. He must be a really, really important warrior, if Pinestar wants to share prey with him. He is. He'll probably have more time for you guys later.
So yeah, Stormtail was a jerk. He couldn't understand how Stormtail could be mates with such a perfect cat, such as Moonflower, and not treasure her. But instead of raging, like I am, Sunfall took the higher road. Since Stormtail had little to no interest in being a father, Sunfall decided that he would always make an effort to be there for Moonflower's kits. And I think that is so kind and honorable of Sunfall. He didn't take out his jealousy on Moonflower or her kits for not choosing him as her mate. He just stepped in and did the right thing. And he was a good influence on Bluestar. I'd love to hear in the comment section down below what you think of what Sunfall did, stepping in and being a father figure to another Tom's kits. He's a complete 180 away from what Ashfur did with Squirrelflight's kits, don't you think? Let's just all agree that Sunstar is the best, and that he deserves a lot more recognition. In fact, you guys can help with that. Go and share these speed paints and get him some more recognition. Hello, Pinky here. So glad to see you back for day 3 of Sunstar. Remember how we talked about Blue Kit's absentee father Stormtail yesterday, and how Sunfall decided to step in as a father figure in her life? Well, today the scene my sister Rachel, the mystical and ever-elusive artist, is going to be drawing is of Sunfall's first book interaction with Blue Kit. Funny side note, I have actually gotten several comments of people not believing that Rachel exists, and that I just like to talk about myself in third person. I promise you, she does exist. I'm Lillie, not Rachel, and there's no way these speed paints would be able to come out daily if I was the only one doing them. 1, I can only color, and 2, it truly takes the work of 2 people to collaborate and come up with ideas for the drawings and storytelling voiceovers of these speed paints. And we're able to keep each other motivated to get our work done and provide you guys with daily quality content. Anyways, so Blue Kit is almost an apprentice age at this part of the book, and she's curious to explore outside the camp. Sunfall catches her trying to sneak out, but instead of yelling at her, he offers to take her out himself and show her some of ThunderClan's territory. I'll read this part to you now. If you guys want to follow along, it'll be on pages 48 through 53 in Bluestar's Prophecy.
Trying not to wake anyone, Blue Kit squeezed out of the nursery. Blue Kit breathed deeply, opening her mouth to let the scent of the woods wash against the roof of her mouth. The forest smelled musty, rich with decay, giving up its fragrance like fresh-killed prey. Her mouth watered. She longed to be among the trees beyond the gorse barrier. Padding towards it, she sniffed at the tantalizing smells that drifted through the entrance.
Do you want to go out? Sunfall's voice made her jump, and she spun around guiltily.
I was just looking.
I'll take you if you like, the ThunderClan deputy offered.
Blue Kit blinked. What about Pinestar? Won't he be angry?
Not if you're with me. Sunfall padded away towards the tunnel.
Breathless with excitement, Blue Kit followed, feeling her tail brush the gorse and the ground beneath her paws, smooth from so many paw steps. She emerged on the other side of the barrier. The scents of the forest flooded her nose and mouth. Leaves, earth, moss, prey, flavors so rich that she could taste them on her tongue. A wind stirred her whiskers, untainted by the familiar scents of the camp. It smelled strange and wild. All around Blue Kit, rich leaf fall hues dappled the forest like a tortoiseshell's pelt. Sunfall led her along a well-trodden path towards the foot of a slope so steep that Blue Kit had to crane her neck to see the top. We're in the very heart of ThunderClan's territory. He glanced upwards. But up there, at the top of the ravine, the forest stretches to our borders on every side. You climb up there?
She searched the slope, trying to work out what route her clanmates used to find their way among the rocks and bushes that jutted out above them. This is the easiest path. Sunfall padded to a gap between 2 massive boulders where the stone and earth had crumbled into a slope. He bounded nimbly up it and leaped onto one of the boulders. Looking down at Blue Kit, he meowed. You try.
Blue Kit padded tentatively to the bottom of the rock fall. It was easy to scrabble up the first few tail lengths, but the slope suddenly steepened, and her paws started to slip on the loose stones. Heart racing, she made a desperate leap towards the boulder where Sunfall waited, only just managing to claw her way up beside him. Feeling less than dignified, she shook out her fur.
It gets easier with practice. Sunfall turned and led her up a muddy gully that weaved along the slope. It stopped at the bottom of another huge boulder.
Blue Kit stared up in horror. Does he expect me to climb that? Sunfall was gazing up at the smooth rock surface, his eyes narrowed.
Can you see the dents and hold where you might get a grip?
As Blue Kit scanned the rock, she started to notice chips and cracks in the stone. A dip in one side that would give her something to push against, a chink just above it where she might get a claw hold, a useful chip in the rock beyond that. Would these small cracks be enough to let her scramble to the top? She waited for Sunfall to lead the way, but he motioned her upwards with his muzzle.
You go first, he meowed. I'll be right behind in case you slip.
Blue Kit unsheathed her claws. I won't slip. Crouching back on her haunches, she tensed to jump, her eyes fixed on the first tiny ledge where she might get a grip. Trembling with effort, she leaped and hooked a claw onto the chink, propelling herself upwards and pushing against the dip in the rock with her hind paws. She was amazed to find herself already sitting at the next crack, grabbing hold and pushing upwards again, until, by some miracle, she found herself panting at the top. Peering down the sheer rock, she saw Sunfall. He seemed small on the forest floor below. Had she really jumped so far with just a couple of paw holds?
Great climb.
Sunfall landed silently on the rock beside her.
Which way now, do you think?
Blue Kit glanced behind her. She spotted a steep but well-worn path which weaved around the trunk of twisted hazel. Without waiting for a reply, she hurried along the track, following it as it steepened, and turned back on itself, and began to snake between the boulders studding the crest of the ravine. She was nearly at the top! The forest was only a few tail lengths away. Panic shot through her like lightning as the earth beneath her claws crumbled and she fell backwards, sliding and skidding her belly down the path. Scrambling for a grip, she let out a wail. Something soft broke her fall. I've got you! Sunfall wriggled from underneath her and grabbed her scruff to steady her. Blue Kit's heart thumped as she swung over the steep drop below. She felt for ground, her legs shaking. Sunfall let go and she regained her balance. Sorry, I shouldn't have gone so fast.
When you're bigger and there's more strength in your hind legs, you can go this way. But for now, let's use this path instead.
Blue Kit followed his gaze to a stony trail twining upwards through a cluster of smaller rocks. She followed him along it, letting her paw steps fall in behind his. A tail length from the top, the path ended in a sheer wall of rock that leaned out above them. With one leap, Sunfall bounded up over the edge. Blue Kit took a deep breath and jumped up, reaching with her forepaws to grasp the grassy cliff top, and began to haul herself over the edge. She caught sight of Sunfall leaning forward, his teeth heading for her scruff. I can do it! She puffed before he could grasp her. Her muscles burned with effort as she dragged herself over the edge, and flopped on the soft grass, panting.
Well done,
Sunfall congratulated her. Catching her breath, Blue Kit glanced down the ravine. The camp was hardly visible beneath the treetops, and the clearing appeared as a pale splash beyond the auburn leaves. She twisted her head to look into the forest. Bushes crowded the edges, and trees stretched away into the shadows. Branches creaked and shuddered in the wind. An excited shiver ran down her pelt. Is that where the patrols hunt every day?
Sunfall nodded. You'll be going with them soon.
This is something Blue Kit's own father should have done with her. But alas, Stormtail was too busy chatting up apprentices to show his daughter around ThunderClan's territory. Luckily, Sunfall was there for her so she didn't get herself hurt trying to explore on her own.
It would have been a real pity if Blue Star's prophecy only ended up being 48 pages long.
I'd love to hear in the comment section down below your favorite father figures in the Warrior Cat series. I think Sunstar is a great one for Blue Star, as is White Storm and Lionheart to Firepaw. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Hey there! Welcome back to day 4 of getting to know Sunstar. The scene my sister Rachel's going to be drawing today is of Sunfall comforting Blue Paw after her mother's sudden death. This moment is very impactful in Blue Star's life because Sunfall reaches in and pulls her out of this depression that she's sunk into. In this scene, Sunfall has just become Blue Paw's new mentor since her old one Stonepelt has just retired due to his wounds from the Battle of the Wind Clan never fully healing. Sunfall is having a tough time with his new apprentice Blue Paw. She's always in a bad mood, not even trying with her training. Her mother's death hit her hard. In the moments before the section I'm about to read to you guys now, Blue Paw recklessly almost runs headfirst into a fox's den, and Sunfall decides at this moment that he needs to sit her down and talk to her, and try to bring some comfort to his troubled apprentice. If you want to follow along, I'll be on pages 148 through 151 in Blue Star's Prophecy. Blue Paw turned her paws towards home.
Wait!
Sunfall's mew halted her.
I want to talk to you. We're not going back to camp until you tell me what's going on.
There's nothing wrong. I'm just cold and hungry.
We're all cold and hungry.
Sunfall's amber gaze didn't stray from hers.
It doesn't give us the right to be rude or reckless.
I wasn't being reckless!
You were staring into a fox den!
Sunfall's mew hardened to anger. His gaze burned so fiercely that Blue Paw sturdied her feet. her ears suddenly feeling hot despite the freezing air.
How would Snowpaw have felt if you'd been ripped to shreds? She's only just recovering from Moonflower's death. She doesn't need you to die as well. I wasn't going to die! What were you going to do? Catch a fox and bring it home for supper?
Bluepaw looked away with a shrug.
Now sit down and tell me what's wrong.
Reluctantly, Bluepaw clambered up beside him.
I'm just having a bad day. That's all. Seems like every day's a bad day with you. It's a leaf bear. We have to do our best to provide for the clan. But as far as I can tell, you're not even trying. You act like everything's a chore. You scrape through your assessments, though I know you can do better. Sometimes I feel like I'm wasting my time trying to train you. You're so bad-tempered with your clanmates that they're starting to avoid you. And now, when every cat needs to try their hardest, you hunt as though your mind's filled with starling feathers, and your paws are made of stone.
His words stung like nettles, and Bluepaw found herself shrinking inside her pelt as he went on.
Why should your clanmates look after you, if you won't do the same for them? Everything's gone wrong. You miss Moonflower. Of course you do. But she died defending her clan.
Defending? We were attacking, not defending!
Only to save our territory.
Are you sure?
Sunfall met her gaze, unblinking. Did you believe that we were defending ThunderClan territory when we headed for battle?
Bluepaw paused, remembering, and then she nodded.
So did every cat on that patrol. Sunfall glanced at the ground. We thought we were doing what StarClan wanted. We may have been right, and we may have been wrong, but fighting for our clan is part of the warrior code. Whatever doubts you may have, we must not doubt the warrior code. The forest and our clanmates may change around us, but the warrior code remains the same. Moonflower knew that. She fought bravely, and she died bravely. Warriors die in battle. It's a fact. They do not leave us. They join StarClan, where they find old friends and kin, and there they watch over us.
Bluepaw glanced through the branches at the darkening sky. Silverpelt would be out soon. Was Moonflower really there watching? Her heart ached with wanting to believe it was true.
Moonflower wants you to be brave, like she was, to do your duty, just as she did.
You think she wants us to die like she did? For nothing?
Dying for your clan is not nothing.
Bluepaw dug her claws into the bark as Sunfall took a breath.
I wish Moonflower were still alive too,
he murmured with a sadness that took Bluepaw by surprise. And then he stood up and shook the snow from his tail.
But she's not. And you can't grieve forever. Your clan needs you. Concentrate more on your training.
His mew was brisk, and he leaped down from the tree root.
It will give you something else to think about.
I don't want to think about anything else. Moonflower's not a thorn in my paw to be plucked out and forgotten. Bluepaw jumped down from the tree root, her paws so numb with cold that she landed clumsily. Sunfall glanced around at her.
Are you okay?
Of course. She straightened up. She'd show him. She'd be the best apprentice he ever saw. But she wouldn't forget Moonflower.
As we saw from that scene, Sunfall truly cared about Moonflower, and her death shook him too. He never took a mate after she died. Instead, he decided to help train and act as a father figure to Bluestar. He knew that it would make Moonflower happy, that there was still someone looking out for her daughter. Sunfall's pep talk to Bluepaw motivated her and got her back on track with her warriors training. Having him as her mentor challenged her, and is one of the major reasons she was able to blaze ahead to become ThunderClan's next leader. I'd love to hear in the comment section down below what you think about the conversation Sunfall and Bluepaw had. Do you think it had a major impact on her? If Stonepelt had continued on as her mentor, do you think he could have challenged or taught her enough to prepare her for the sacrifice she would later have to make for her clan to become deputy? Would she even have wanted to be ThunderClan's leader without Sunfall's example? I don't know. Let me know down below what you think. Hello and welcome back. Thanks for tuning in for day 5 of Sunstar. The scene that my sister Rachel's going to be drawing today is of Sunfall driving Shellheart and several other RiverClan cats back across the river during a border skirmish in Bluestar's prophecy. This is just before Pinestar admits to the clan that he no longer wishes to serve and surrenders the position of clan leader to Sunfall. This scene is important in Sunstar's life because it shows that ThunderClan will be left in good paws, with a capable and courageous leader in Sunstar, as he was able to successfully lead 3 patrols and defend ThunderClan's territory from RiverClan, even without Pinestar showing up to the battle. I'll now read this battle scene from the book Bluestar's Prophecy. If you want to follow along, I'll be on pages 293 through 303.
Wait,
Sunfall hissed.
River Clan.
Look! They've crossed the border! Branches swished as the River Clan patrol moved stealthily through the undergrowth.
I knew it!
Sunfall growled, keeping low so that his orange pelt was hidden by the ferns. He signaled to Lionpaw.
Go back to the camp and tell Pinestar that we're being invaded. Those River Clan warriors have deliberately crossed the border. We can't let them get away with it. Pinestar needs to send a fighting patrol here at once.
Lionpaw nodded and whipped around.
Get back!
Sunfall ordered the rest of his patrol, keeping his mew low. He scooted into the ferns and the patrol followed, crouching among the fronds.
We'll attack as soon as the other patrol gets here.
Ferns rustled beside them, and Thrushbell pushed his way through.
We've seen the River Clan patrol, but they didn't see us. They're too busy fighting thorns.
Sunfall chuckled. I get the feeling that they're not too comfortable in ThunderClan territory.
We should force them to fight where the undergrowth is thickest, Thrushpelt suggested.
Won't that make it harder to attack?
Hard for us, but even harder for them, Sunfall answered. They're not used to brambles, but we are.
He glanced back at Thrushpelt.
Who did you bring? Stormtail, Thistleclaw, Fuzzypelt, Snowfur, Windflight, and Patchpelt. There's another patrol waiting at the top of the ravine, in case River Clan breaks through our line. We didn't know how many warriors River Clan had brought. Sunfall narrowed his eyes. We have enough to drive them off.
Thistleclaw shouldered his way to the front.
We should do more than drive them off. We should give them a battle they won't forget in a hurry. Once they know we can drive them away, they'll think twice about invading again, Sunfall pointed out. He swung his head around to Stormtail. We'll split into 3 patrols. You head one and meet them on the rise up there. He signaled towards the slope where River Clan's cats seemed to be heading. Take Patchpelt and Swiftbreeze. You attack first. We'll come in from the sides as you drive them back. Windflight. Yes? Stay here with Fuzzypelt, Thrushpelt, and Thistleclaw. Attack when you hear Stormtail's signal. I'll take Bluefur, Snowfur, Rosepaw, and Tawny Spots and attack on their other flank. We'll leave the path to the border clear so they can retreat. We should shred them where they fall, not let them escape, Thistleclaw hissed. Sunfall glared at him. Warriors do not need to shed blood to win battles.
Sunfall slid through the ferns, and Bluefur followed. He led them towards the ravine and doubled back, using another route, until they could see the River Clan warriors fighting their way through the brambles.
Ugh, what do we want such stupid territory for? More prey for River Clan, less for ThunderClan. Now stop fussing and keep moving.
The River Clan patrol looked strong and fit. They'd escaped the brambles, though their fur was matted with thorns. Creeping up the rise, ears flat, tails down, they halted at the flick of Shellheart's tail.
I smell ThunderClan!
Timberfur, a brown River Clan cat, tasted the air.
Fresh scent. Stormtail launched himself at Shellheart, yowling the signal. Swiftbreeze and Patchpelt hurled after. Timberfur reared up. Shellheart ducked, and the other warriors spun around, their eyes wide, as Windfly's patrol exploded from the ferns on the other side. Attack! Sunfall screeched, pelting forward. Fight, you mouse brains! Shellheart yelled at their clanmates as Bluefur sprang and landed on their back. Did you think it would be easy? She hissed as she sank her teeth into the River Clan deputy's shoulder. Claws hooked Bluefur in return, and Shellheart managed to tear her off. She yelled as her forepaw was wrenched, claws still tangled in Shellheart's fur. Sick with agony, she freed herself and spun around. Timberfur faced her. Gasping in pain, Bluefur reared up to fight the burly brown Tom, but Snowfur was already dragging him backwards, sinking her teeth into his scruff. As he toppled over, Bluefur rushed at his belly, crashing into him so hard that she heard breath rush from him. Gasping, Timberfur wriggled free and fled towards the River Clan border. Sunfall kicked out with his hind legs, sending a River Clan cat reeling. Retreat! Shellheart yelped, and the remaining River Clan warriors turned and fled. Their deputy paused, his eyes gleaming. The rocks are still ours, but never the trees, Sunfall snarled in return. Exhilarated, they chased the remaining warriors to the border. And we'll have the rocks back too one day, Thistleclaw yelled as River Clan splashed across the river. Sunfall had a very smart attack strategy, taking the cats he had with him and splitting them into 3 different attacking patrols, and keeping the majority of the fighting in ThunderClan's territory, because he knew that River Clan was less skilled with fighting in deep undergrowth, and that would give ThunderClan an advantage. It's a good thing that Pinestar appointed Sunfall as his deputy, as it made his choice of leaving the clan easier, because he knew at the very least he was leaving ThunderClan in good paws, and perhaps ones more worthy than his own.
I'd love to hear in the comment section down below about what you think about Sunfall succeeding Pine Star as ThunderClan's leader. Despite Pine Star's surprising departure to become, let's not forget, a kitty pet, you would think that that would totally destroy ThunderClan and make them look super weak. But at the next gathering, nobody even cares. Nobody even asks, "Where's Pine Star? Did he die?" No, he ran off to be a kitty pet. Wait, what? Your leader's a kitty pet now? ThunderClan is a clan of kitty pets? It's so weird. Maybe the Errands just got caught up in the Blue Star romance with Oakheart and kind of forgot about Pine Star. But you'd think it would be something that would come up. And some cats would challenge Sunstar's leadership, seeing him as less for succeeding a guy that became a kitty pet. But no, everybody's at peace with Sunstar being leader. Maybe that was the part of Sunkit's future that Goosefeather saw, that he would become a leader and bring peace to a troubling time. But I think that more opposition would have rounded Sunstar's character and improved the book, with more cats from other clans doubting ThunderClan and its strength, and throwing around more kitty pet sneers and threats at ThunderClan's borders. Maybe it's just me who sees this, I don't know. But I guess all these troubles were swept under the rug when Sunstar gave his motivating "I'm leader now" speech, "Times are a-changin'," on pages 315 through 316. I'll read that now.
Sunstar spoke again. ThunderClan has kits in the nursery, and the warrior's den is full. We face troubles, it's true. RiverClan pushes at our borders, and kitty pets threaten our prey. But the clan is well fed, and the forest is rich in prey. I vow to make ThunderClan as powerful as the great clans of old. Today's ThunderClan will be remembered alongside TigerClan and LionClan. Our warriors are courageous and loyal and skilled in battle. There is no reason to feel besieged by our enemies. We have defeated them before, and we will do so again. Let me carry you forward to a new era in which ThunderClan is so respected and feared that no cat will dare set paw on our lands.
Holy heck, powerful words, Sunstar. He promises to win back Sunning Rocks and carry ThunderClan into a new era where everything is awesome. Or, everything is awesome. More like, that was some speech, and I'd probably accept him as my leader too if he did that. But realistically, do you think that that speech, mere words, were enough to silence all doubts? I don't know. Let me know what you think down below. Hi there, welcome back to day 6 of Sunstar. Wow, the week is flying by. The scene that my sister Rachel is going to be drawing today is of Sunstar's death scene. Wait, he's dying already? We just barely talked about him becoming leader in yesterday's speed paint. I know, right? One thing that really bums me out is that we don't get to see a whole lot of Sunstar as leader. In Blue Star's prophecy, it kind of feels like he's just the guy that fills in for the time that Bluefur needs to get her crap in order so that she can lead ThunderClan and fulfill her destiny. I mean, he's only leader for 183 pages. And during that time, the focus is mostly on Bluefur, breaking the warrior code, getting her sister killed, getting pregnant, and finally giving up her kit so she can become deputy to Sunstar. Maybe his time as leader breezes by because he was only granted 8 lives by StarClan, instead of the usual 9. Because Pine Star kept his 9th life to go and chill with Shanty's owners. It's unknown how Sunstar lost his first 2 lives, but we know that he lost lives 3, 4, and 5 in battle, trying to win back and keep the Sunning Rocks. When he makes Bluefur his deputy, he reveals to her that he now only has 3 lives left, instead of 4. I'll save reading that scene for tomorrow's speed paint. We never get to see any Bluefur action as ThunderClan's deputy, because on the very next page, Sunstar is now dead, and she's traveling to the Moonstone to get her 9 lives. Despite all that Sunstar gave her, being a father figure in her life, being her mentor, offering constant comfort and support, all he gets is one measly paragraph of her remembering his death. I'll read that to you now. It's on page 497 of Blue Star's prophecy. She remembered Sunstar's death with a pang. Weakened by illness, he'd been unable to outrun a 2-legged dog that was roaming loose in the forest. It had killed him before the patrol could drive it off. Bluefur mourned his loss deeply, regretting that he had not been able to share words with her before dying. But she took comfort in knowing that he had not wanted to suffer a slow death, such as Tawny Spots had, joining StarClan only after days of agony that even Feather Whisker's herbs could not ease. Isn't that sad? Even as leader, Sunstar died all alone. He just lost his 6th and 7th lives to sickness. We don't know why he was out in the forest, sick as he was, for the stray 2-legged dog to find him. Since there's no account of this, I'll tell you guys my own theory. I think he was trying to help his brother Featherwhisker, the medicine cat, collect herbs to help cure the sickness from ThunderClan's camp. And the two of them were close to the two-leg place to collect catmint when the stray dog stumbled upon them. Sunstar, despite knowing that he only had one life remaining, drew the dog's attention away from his brother and allowed for him to escape to get help. However, in Sunstar's weakened condition, he was unable to outrun the dog and make it to safety. That's why Rachel and I decided to have him in this drawing attempting to climb a tree, but getting pulled back down before he could get out of reach. I'd just quickly like to acknowledge that not all dogs are cat killers. There are even some dogs who get along very nicely with cats. Sadly, this was not the case with Sunstar and the dog who took his final life. I kind of wish there were more dogs in the Warrior Cat series that were depicted as smarter and more civilized. Perhaps a dog that even befriends a cat. I think with Barley and Ravenpaw, they missed a huge opportunity to have added in a cool, friendly dog on the ranch named Hank. Hank the cow dog. Wouldn't that have been cool? You've got to admit that would have been awesome. Anyways, that's all for this speed paint. I'd love to hear in the comment section down below what you think about my theory on Sunstar's death and how I think it happened. And if you think there should have been more friendly dogs in the Warrior Cat series. Wouldn't that have been cool to have dogs fighting on their side if they befriended them? Let me know what you think down below. Hey everybody, welcome back to the final day of Sunstar. In our last speed paint, we saw how Sunstar died. And since then, Bluestar has become the next leader of ThunderClan. We're going to be spending the next 2 weeks on Bluestar. Week 1 for her is all going to be from her special edition, Bluestar's Prophecy, and Week 2 is going to take place during the first 5 books of the original saga. If you guys have any ideas on what scenes you'd like us to draw of her, then comment them in the comment section down below. The scene that my sister Rachel's going to be drawing today is of Sunstar and Moonflower, watching over Bluestar as she is struggling during her early years of leadership. I imagine that although during life Moonflower and Sunstar were not mates, in StarClan they were reunited. Moonflower saw how Sunstar spent his life looking out for her daughter Bluestar, and acting as a father figure for her, and that really meant a lot to Moonflower, that he was there for her when she could no longer be. Once he died, Sunstar and Moonflower were together in StarClan, where they continued to look out and guide Bluestar from afar. Bluestar had a rough time as an early leader, losing 7 of her 9 lives before the start of Into the Wild. However, she kept hidden the loss of 3 of her lives, telling the clan that she'd only lost 4 thus far and had 5 remaining, when she really just had 2. She did the same thing that Sunstar did, hiding the fact that she had less lives remaining. He was only gifted 8 lives from StarClan, because Pinestar kept his 9th. I'll read you now the scene where he reveals this to Bluestar, just after he's made her deputy. It's on page 496 of Bluestar's Prophecy.
I have just 3 lives left, not 4, Sunstar confessed. How did you lose the extra one? I didn't. It was never given to me. When Pinestar left, he still had 1 life as the leader of this clan. StarClan counted this life against mine. They gave me only 8, because Pinestar kept his 9th.
And you kept it a secret in case the clan thought you did not have StarClan's full blessing. But you can be honest now, surely. You've proven over and over that you're a great leader. What cat would doubt it?
A cat with ambition might choose to doubt it.
He means Thistleclaw. Bluefur returned his steady gaze.
What about me? I have ambition. Only to serve your clan. That is why I chose you.
Bluestar kept her true amount of remaining lives hidden for the same reason that Sunstar did. Thistleclaw. Him and Bluestar both feared that if Thistleclaw knew the true amount, he might attempt to forcefully become leader by killing them until they had no lives remaining. In the scene Rachel is drawing, Bluestar is just recovering from secretly losing a life. I imagine she fought in a battle, got wounded worse than she expected, and died in her den from her wounds. And she didn't tell the clan about it. They just think she's recovered, but she's really lost a life. Spotted Leaf and Redtail are also in this scene. Though Bluestar mentioned that she hadn't told Redtail the true amount of lives remaining, she suspected that he knew anyways. So it's imaginable that through the loss of one of those 7 lives, Redtail was there. As well as being the deputy, he's also Spotted Leaf's brother, so I imagine he did know the truth. But being the noble warrior that he was, he would have never challenged Bluestar on it. Sunstar and Moonflower worried for Bluestar while Thistleclaw was still alive, but they were relieved when he died and went to the place of no stars, where he could no longer harm her or ThunderClan. So they thought. Anyways, that ends Sunstar's week. It was really cool getting to know his character and learning more about the role he had in Bluestar's life. I'd love to hear in the comment section down below what you think about both Sunstar and Bluestar hiding the amount of remaining lives that they had. If you were leader, would you feel threatened by cats knowing how many lives you had remaining? It's hard enough just having one life to worry about, but it seems like leaders blow through a lot of lives in a quick amount of time. Some normal warriors, like Small Ear, live through many leaders. He lived through at least 3, Pine Star, Sunstar, and Blue Star. That's 9 plus 8 plus 9, that's at least 26 lives. Dang! Maybe the fact that leaders are given more lives makes them more reckless. Let me know what you think down below.